explain to you people about what is the web. We understood the relationship between a client and a server. The client is one which requests for resources, and the server is one which serves those resources. And the server will have a lot of resources with it. It will have a lot of documents with it, data, and then this data is requested by the client requests this by putting a URL into a browser. Okay, so the client uses a browser to request for resources. So the client will open a browser, and then in the address bar it will write the URL, and in the URL there will be two parts: the name of the server, and then after that the document or the data that the client is requesting for. Now this request will go to the server will open it up. There are two different types of resources that can be requested from the server: a static data, static content, static document, or a dynamic data, dynamic content, or dynamic document. Okay, so these are the two different types of categories of data that can be requested from the server. I told you very clearly that if a static data or a static page or static document is requested from the server will simply pick it up from the hard disk and send it as it is to the client's machine. The browser will receive this data and then display it as it is to the client. Whatever comes from the server, remember, the browser displays it. If the data that is coming from the server is an HTML page, the browser knows how to display HTML page because it understands tags. Browser understands tags. The moment it sees center tag, it knows that whatever comes after that has to be displayed in the center. Whatever is put between the H1 tag, it knows that it knows that it has to display that with bold and all that. Okay, so remember that the browser understands HTML code. It understands those tags. Okay, so now there are basically different types of tags which are available in HTML, using which we design our HTML pages. Okay, and I also told you that the different types of static pages that we can write and keep on the server are HTML pages, TXT text files, PDF files, MP3 files, video files. These are all static data, static documents. Okay, static resources. Anything with extension .php, .asp, .asp, JSP, these are all dynamic pages, dynamic data, dynamic content, or you can say dynamic content or dynamic documents. Okay, so when a dynamic page is requested from the server will first execute that and send the result of that execution to the client's machine. To the client's machine means it is received by the browser, and the browser will display the result of that execution. Okay, so this is what I want you people to remember and keep it in mind. Now, coming to HTML. What is HTML? HTML is hypertext markup language. It is used for designing your web pages. If you see any website today, you will find that it is attractive. You will find that in the website there are tables, there are images, there is bold text, there is simple text, there is list of items, and so on. Okay, so basically these are the things that you find on a web page. Now, how do we design these web pages? How do we design these web pages? I showed you one example of Google the other day, and then I showed you that there is an image in the Google's website, there is a text box, there is a button and all that. So how do we put these things into our page, and how do we design it? For that, we need a markup language. We need to write the code in a markup language and design the pages. So to design the pages, we use HTML, hypertext markup language. Okay, so hypertext markup language is a markup language which is used for designing web pages, And then when you have multiple web pages for a particular organization, then you call it as a website. So any organization today, whether it is a college, whether it is a school, whether it is a office, business, something like that, everybody has a website today. Okay, they have a website. And what is this website? A website is nothing but a collection of web pages. And these web pages can be static pages as well as dynamic pages. Please remember this. Whenever I want to develop my website may contain some static pages and some dynamic pages. Static pages, as you all know, will have extension .html, and dynamic pages will have .php or .asp or .jsp and so on. Then you will ask me a question. So when do we use a static page and when do we use a dynamic page? Now, if you have that question in your mind, I will tell you. At static pages, let us say you want to display some information. That's it. You just want to simply display some information. You don't want any user interaction on that page. If you don't want any user interaction on that page, for example, if there is a form, okay, you are asking the user to enter his details, and then there will be a button there down. When he clicks on that, all those details that the user has entered, you want it to be emailed to you. Let us say you are a company, okay, and in your company you want to develop a website. In the first page of the website, you will have all the details about the company, who are the people in the company, what does the company do, what are its products, and all that is there on the first page. Then there is a link called as contact us. When you click on that link, then it opens a new page. In that there is a form. And then in that form, first is a text box in which the user is supposed to enter his name. In the second text box, the user is supposed to enter his phone number. And in the third, some query if the customer wants to ask. So three text boxes are there. First, to enter the name, phone number, and then the query that he is planning to ask. And after he enters his name, phone number, and the query, he asks, okay, fine, I want to buy this product. What is the cost of that? And then he clicks on the button. Now, the moment he clicks on the button, you want this information of the user to be emailed to you. And then you are planning to set at the end of the day, and then check your email, how many people have submitted you the queries. Okay, so if you want that email to go when the button is clicked, for that you have to write a dynamic page. You have to write the code for sending this as an email, either in PHP or in JSP or in ASP or in Python, any programming language, whichever you are comfortable with, you can write that page. Okay, we will come back to that. Okay, don't worry much about it. If it has not made any sense to you people as to what is the difference between a static page and a dynamic page, don't worry about that right now. This is only an introduction. We are going to learn the technologies using which we will develop our static pages and our dynamic pages. Okay, so we are going to learn the technologies. So we are going to first learn HTML, and HTML is used for developing static web pages. Static, simple. Okay, and first, introduction to HTML. In the introduction to HTML, the first thing that we learn in introduction to HTML is that what is HTML? Then what is XHTML? There is something called as XHTML also. Okay, what is HTML? HTML is simple hypertext markup language, which is used for developing web pages. HTML was something that was developed, okay, that was developed till 1990, 1995. Till 1995, all the web pages used to be developed using simple HTML. Okay, this HTML then later on got evolved, became more better after 1995, and it became XHTML. XHTML. Okay, so we have now two things. Okay, first we had HTML, later it became XHTML. It became XHTML. Okay, now what is the difference? The only difference that I would want you people to remember is that HTML and XHTML are the same. Same type of tags you use in HTML, same type of tags you use in XHTML, and so on. Same tags. Okay, but one thing to remember is that HTML was flexible. HTML was flexible in terms of it was not very strict. It was not very strict, whereas XHTML is a strict markup language. Strict. Now you'll ask me a question, how does it differentiate? Okay, first of all, let us say I want to write the HTML page. Okay, so first I write HTML, and then I write the body tag. You all know this is how we write the HTML page. Okay, then let us say I want to display a message, hello world, I want to display, and I want to display this bold and big, so I want to display this in the center, so I put the center tag, then I put the H1 tag. Okay, and then I have to close the H1 tag, and then I have to close the center tag. Okay, and then after that I have to close the body tag, and then I have to close the HTML tag. Okay, so this is a simple HTML page. Okay, if I want to, let us say I'll remove this. Okay, I'll remove that. Okay, I want to save this. So file, I say file save. I'll go to the desktop, and then I will save this as test.html. Remember, test.html. The extension of the file is .html. Okay, and I'll say save. I saved this file now. Okay, and now if I go to my, I will see that there is a file here already. So if I double click on that, it will display me hello world. Okay, it displays me hello world here. Okay, what is happening is I'm displaying something with bold H1. Whatever I put between H1 and the slash H1, whatever I put between these two tags, that will be displayed big and bold. Okay, big and bold. And center here means whatever is in between, whatever is in between the center tag from here to here will be displayed in the center of the page. Okay, now can you just guess what will happen if I do this? I did that. Okay, I'll save this file, save. So you now think what would happen. Okay, so what I've done is center h1 is ending here. By now you must have guessed what will happen. So I'll just show the output file. I'll save this, save it. I'll just come here. I'll just refresh. I'll just refresh this. So you can see that only hello is big and bold. World is simple. Word is simple. Because why? I have put world outside the h1 tag. So that's why world will not get the effect of h1. In between h1, if it would be, then it would also be big and bold. If you have guessed this, then you are right. Now what will happen? Both of them will be displayed big and bold because both of them are in the h1 tag. Okay. So what I want to convey to you people is that whatever is in between the tags, it will take its effect. Whatever is in the center tag will take the effect of the center tag, and hence it will be displayed in the center of the page. Whatever is in between the h1 tag will take the effect of the h1 tag, it will be displayed big and bold, and so on. Okay. Now I saved this as HTML. Okay. Now you will say, then if XHTML also uses the same tags, then I can very well save this file as .xhtml also. So I can do test. I will do test1.xhtml. I will do test1.xhtml. I'll save this page. Okay. Now remember the difference between HTML and XHTML. Okay, the difference between HTML and XHTML. I'll just open this also. I'll open this with Notepad. Okay, so this is, I'll keep it on one side and keep this on. I'll open this with Notepad. Okay, so this is test.html. This is test1.xhtml. Okay, remember that this is test.html and this is text1. Both of them are same. If you see, both of them are the same. This is test1.xhtml. This is test.html. Both of them are same. After 1995, after 2000, you can say that people started developing their web pages and saving it with extension.xhtml. They use the same tags. HTML, XHTML uses the same tags. But remember that HTML is flexible. XHTML is a strict markup language. What do I mean by that is this. Let us say I have test.html. I'll give you a simple example. In terms of strictness, XHTML is very strict because it makes sure that the developer is writing the code properly. It makes sure that the developer is writing the code properly. So there are some rules and regulations of XHTML if you want to write the code. First of all, the tags. The tag names should be in smaller case only. CENTER. CENTER should be all small. I cannot write this, C capital. I cannot write C capital and then the remaining everything else as small. No, I cannot do that. In case of XHTML, I cannot do that. But in case of HTML, since this is HTML, this will work no problem. Okay, this will work no problem. Okay, this will work. File save. If I save this, now this is, remember, test.html. Okay, so I saved that. If I come to test.html, if I refresh this, you can still see that it is getting displayed in the center. It is getting displayed in the center. You can see that. Okay, but if I try to do the same thing with XHTML, if I do this capital C and if I do this capital C, I'll say file save. I'll say file save. And then if I come to XHTML and double click and open this, so it will give me an error. It will say the file does not appear to have, see, the documentary is shown below and all that. So it displays me an error. It says there is an error. There is an error because there are so many rules of XHTML that I'm not following. I have to follow that rules. If at all I want to save my page with extension.xhtml, I have to follow some strict rules. First of all, okay, every page, the tags that you use should be all small. You cannot have capitals and smalls. Okay, you cannot have capitals. So this is my this is XHTML and this is my HTML. So since I had written this capital, that's why it was giving an error. That was one thing. And the second thing is that in HTML, this is HTML. In HTML, let me make this as small. Okay, let me make that as small, and then this also small, no problem. And then nesting of the text. For example, let us see. This is proper nesting. This is proper nesting. My H1 is starting from here, and then it is first. What has to close is H1 only. Center has started first, so it has to close later on. So from here to here, and then from here to here, it is like that. What will happen if I don't nest them properly? If I do center closing first and H1 closing later on, what I am doing here is I am not nesting the tags properly. I'm not nesting the tags properly. If H1 is there, first that should close, and then center should close outside that. So I'm not nesting it properly. See, H1 is going from here to here, center is closing before that. So I'm crisscrossing the nesting. This is not proper nesting. In HTML, this is okay. This is fine. File save. I will save this. Okay, HTML page. Then I go to test.html. If I open this, you can see that I still get the output. Even if I have cross-nested it, which file? Test.html. See, H1 is there, but center is closing first. Even if I'm cross-nesting it in HTML, it is fine, no problem. But in XHTML, you cannot do this cross-nesting. Cross-nesting is not allowed in XHTML. If a particular tag has opened last, that should close first. And then after that, the outer should close. I hope you understood this. Okay, so these are some rules and regulations that XHTML follows. And don't worry much about this. Okay, this is only introduction. I just wanted to tell you the difference between HTML and XHTML. Remember that XHTML and HTML are same. Both are same. They are used for developing web pages only. Okay, but in the early days of the internet, people started developing their web pages using HTML, which was very, very flexible, in which a tag with capital letters were also allowed. Cross nesting was also allowed, but later on people started saying that, you know, the documents are not very much structured, all that. So they came, the World Wide Web Consortium, it is called as the W3C. They said, no, let us not do all that. Let us introduce a new technique of developing web pages. And here some strict rules has to be followed. And when you save this file, it has to be saved with extension .xhtml. But use the same tags, no problem. But there are some rules and regulations which you have to all follow. Some of the rules and regulations are that tag names should be small case. Nesting should be proper, cross nesting should not be allowed. And apart from this, there are some more rules and regulations that XHTML has to follow. Okay, so I will come to that. What are the rules and regulations to be followed by XHTML? I will come to that later on. But I hope by now you must have understood what is the difference between HTML and XHTML. Okay, fine. So with that, let us go further. Let us go further and try to understand elements and attributes of HTML, elements and attributes of HTML. What is HTML? It's a markup language. What do you mean by a markup language? A markup language is one in which you have these tags. In a markup language, you have tags like this, which are enclosed between pointed brackets. These are called as pointed brackets. The less than sign and the greater than sign. Okay, these are called as pointed brackets. So these are called as tags. Okay, so we have a HTML tag, we have a body tag, we have a center tag, we have H1 tag, we have P tag, we have A tag, we have IMG tag, we have table tag. So many are there. Okay, these are all built-in tags. You cannot create your own tags. I cannot have a tag called as Naveed in between and then pointed brackets. I cannot have a tag like that because HTML doesn't have such tag. So these are predefined, fixed. World Wide Web Consortium, these people have introduced these tags only, and we have to use these tags only which are available and design our web pages. Okay, so we have to learn now these different types of tags available. Okay, these are called as tags, and they are also called as elements. They are also called as elements. Elements are always written between pointed brackets, and then these elements can have attributes also. These elements can have even attributes. What is an attribute? The tag, when it starts with a opening of pointed bracket followed by the name of the tag, body tag, and then it can also have attributes. It can also have attributes. So look at this tag. This tag is without an attribute. This tag is without an attribute. This tag H1 is also without an attribute, but the body tag is with an attribute. What is an attribute? An attribute is this from here to here. From here to here is an attribute. So the tag has got an attribute, and the attribute has got a property and a value. An attribute is an attribute contains a property and a value. Okay, you assign a value to a property. So now if I add a attribute to the body tag like bg color and I say is equals to LO, I'll save this file, save. I'll go to my browser and I will request that page now, test.html. So you can, I requested that page test.html, I saved it, and then you can see that the background color has now changed to yellow. So I knew that the body has got one attribute called as bg color, and these attributes are also built in. You cannot introduce your own attribute here. These are all built in. We have to learn different attributes for different elements later on in the subject. But you know, HTML tags may contain attributes. This is what I want to tell to you people. One of the attributes that I immediately remembered is this bg color, and then I said yellow. So what does this attribute do? You know, if you want to give a background color to your web page, you simply say bg color is equals to yellow, and then if you refresh this page, you will get that. Let us change that. Okay, I will change this to red, and I save it. File, save. I come back to the browser, I refresh this. You can see that it has now changed to red. The background color of the page has changed to red, and so on. Okay, so how I am able to change the background color? By using an attribute of the body tag. The body tag. Fine. Okay. Now I can also have an image. Okay, I can also have an image. Instead of a solid color red or yellow like this, I can have an image as a background of a web page. Okay, I can have an image as a background color. So that I can do it by using a different. I know there is one more called as. I know it is. I think it is BKIMG, something like that is there, and then is equals to, I have to give the name of the image that you want to display as a background. So I write smiley.jpg. If I have a file called as smiley.jpg, then it will be displayed at the background here. Okay, so we will be learning all these different types of attributes later on. Okay, but I want to tell you people that not every tag, some tags have got some attributes available with it. Okay, some tags have got attributes associated with it, so we have to learn all those attributes. File, save. So remove the bg color. If I come here and refresh, you will see that it has become white again. It has become white again. Okay, so this is about HTML. Now that we have understood HTML more or less, we have understood why do we use it for designing our web pages and all that. More or less, we have understood this. Now, after we have understood what is the meaning of an element, what is the meaning of an attribute, now let us go further and try to understand the syntax or the structure of an HTML document. If I want to write an HTML document, how should I write it? If I want to write an HTML document, how should I start? By now you must have understood. If you want to start, you have to always start with the HTML tag. Then inside that there should be a body tag. Then inside that there should be whatever you want to display. And then there should be a slash body and slash HTML, means closing body tag and closing HTML tag. By now you have understood this, but really speaking, there is a structure of an HTML document. Whenever you want to write an HTML code, HTML document you want to design, it has a proper, it has remember a very, very proper structure. The structure of the HTML document is always like this. Okay, remember the first thing that should come in an HTML document is this. That's it. First line should always be the doc type tag. The first tag should always be a doc type tag. What I'm explaining you people is the structure of HTML documents. How it should first start is, first is the doc type. So you have to write pointed bracket start, exclamation mark, doc type, DOCTYPE, all capitals, and then HTML after that. Why do we introduce this doc type? This is for the browser to understand that this static page is a document of type HTML. So for that, we always write this as the heading. For the previous two examples, remember, I had not written this, but this has to be written. Okay, it's not compulsory, but if you want to follow the standard structure of XHTML, you have to write this doc type. Okay, followed by next. It should always start with HTML. You know that. It should start with HTML tag. Then comes the head tag. Then comes the head tag. Then comes the title tag. Title is the title of the page. This is my page. Title is the title of the page. This is my page. That is the title. I will tell you where this will be displayed in your web page when you open it. So once the title page comes, okay, then I will close the head tag. Head tags will end here, and then the body tag starts. And then the body tag starts. Okay, then the body tag starts. In the body tag, then you can write whatever you want. I want center tag. I want H1 tag. Welcome to world of HTML. Okay, slash center slash HTML and then slash body and slash HTML. Okay, this is exactly how your page should be. This is the standard structure of an HTML document. This is the standard structure of an HTML document. It should always start with the first tag, that is the doc type. This is to tell the browser what type of a document it is, because the server can send back text file, the server can send back PDF file, the server can send back whatever data it has. But to tell the browser that the document, this one is an HTML page, we have to say doc type is HTML. Once this page is there, remember there is no closing of this. You may think that doc type is there, then there should be a corresponding closing of slash doc type. No, only one, only opening only. Then comes the HTML tag. Everything should be between the HTML tag only. So from here to here is the HTML. Inside this, there are two parts. In HTML, always there will be two parts. The head part and then the body part. Okay, the head part and the body part are the two parts in the HTML tag. Okay, in the head tag, there should be a title tag. In the head tag, there should be a title tag, and then you should write some title to the page, slash title, slash head. Head tag will close. The body tag will start, center tag, H1 tag, and all that, slash body and slash HTML. Okay, so I will remove this now. Let us see. I will remove the first part, file, save. I saved it. Now this is test.html, and I go to this, I double click and open it. So you can see the output, welcome to the world of HTML. Now I will do one thing. I will actually, I wanted to show you one more thing. No, see, this is test1, test.html, test1.html, I'll delete that. Text1, I deleted. This is test. So when I double click on that, you can see that it displays me this page. So this is the code, welcome to the world of HTML. And then you see that there is a title. This is my page. Where can you see that here in this web page? Can you see this on the top here? It is there. This is my web page. So whatever title you want to come on the browser, that you have to write it in the title tag of the page. Head title. Okay, so whatever you write in the title page will appear in the title of the browser. Will appear in the title of the browser. Now I think I can save as, I can save this file as xhtml. I'll name the file as xtest.xhtml. So I have two files now, xtest.xhtml and test.html. So this is test.html. I will do one thing. I will request xtest.xhtml. There is still a little problem. The XML file does not appear. There is the doc type. I think it is because of the doc type that it is not able to display me the XHTML properly. I told you XHTML is very, very strict. There are some of the rules of XHTML that I'm not following in this. There are some of the rules of XHTML that I am not following in this file here. So that's why when I open XHTML file here, it is giving me an error. It is not displaying me the output, welcome to the world of HTML, center, H1. It is not displaying me because there is still an error. I'm not following some of the rules. Nesting is proper. I can see that, no problem. Okay, and the tag names are also in all small. That is also fine. I followed that. But there are some more rules that I've not followed. That's why, it is not displaying me in the browser the XHTML output. Okay, so let us keep this aside right now. We have to write only HTML pages. We don't have to write all that. Okay, so now that we have understood the structure of the HTML document. Remember, first of all, you should have the document type tag, then you should have the HTML tag, followed by the head tag. The head tag should have the title tag, then you should have the body tag, and then finally the closing of the HTML tag. Okay, so we have understood the structure of the HTML document. Now, introduction to HTML, this I have given you already. What is HTML? Where did it come from? We are developing web pages using HTML. HTML syntax also we have understood more or less. Okay, we have understood this. HTML syntax, we use tags for that. I have told you that. Okay. Semantic web, we will come back to the semantic web. Then I've explained to you people what is the structure of the HTML document. Okay, structure of the HTML document I have explained to you. The quick tour of HTML elements. Now we have to learn the different types of HTML elements that are available, okay, that are available in HTML. Okay, quick tour of HTML elements. The first that we learn is the headings. Headings. The first set of tags that we study is the headings tag. There are 6 different types of headings. H1, H6. So we have 6 different types of headings. Every heading creates a different output. Now let me take this is that file xhtml test.html. I will open it with Notepad, and here yeah, since this is HTML, I will remove all this. Even this I don't need, but I want you people to follow this habit. Okay, have a head tag, though it is not required in HTML, but still have a habit of writing head tag, the body tag starts and all that. Okay, so now I will remove all this, delete h1. This is h1 tag slash h1 2 3 4 5 6 2 3 4 5 and 6 2 3 4 5 and 6. And here I will 2 3 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so I'll save this file. Save. Now what will h1 produce? Let us see. What will h2 produce? Let us see. h3 and all that. Let's check it out. The file save. I'll come to this test HTML, and then you can see now. You can see the output, and you can see the output that h1. This is the first. This is h1 tag. h2, h3, h4, 5, and 6. The biggest is h1. After that, h2, 3, 4, and 5. So depending upon how big you want the heading to be, you can use the appropriate tag. If you don't want the tag to be too big, then you can use h2. If you want the smallest to be there, then you can use h6. Okay, you can use h6. Now, why is this getting displayed in the left-hand side? Because I have not introduced the center tag. So I can, if I want to display this in the center tag, I can do this center. I want everything to be in the center, so that's why I can even only one center tag. I don't need to have center tag for all of this. No, like this. I don't need to do this. Center / center. And similarly, I do it for all the tags like this. It is not required. Doing this and doing that is also one and the same. Having center tag for all the tags is the same, and putting all of them in one center tag is also the same. No problem. Okay, because whatever is in between the center tag will take the effect of center. So file save. I will refresh this. You can see that now it came to the center of the page. Now it came to the center of the page. So this is to just display you people the different types of headings that we have got. So we have how many types of headings? We have 6 different types of headings. H1 to H6. When do we use this? We use this if you want to give heading to some paragraph or for some page or something like that. We use the heading tag. Remember that, all of you. Okay, so this is about the heading tag. Now next, that we will discuss is, the headings is over. Now we will discuss about paragraphs and divisions. Paragraphs and divisions. This is the second thing that we have to discuss, paragraphs and divisions. What is the meaning of a paragraph? You all know that whenever we write something, okay, content, theory, some text I want to write, we always write the text, content and everything in paragraphs. We don't write it from the start of the page till the end of the page, everything in just one. So if there is a big theory to be written, or a big theory or text content to be written, we always tend to divide it into different paragraphs. Okay, and it is more appropriate, it is more readable when things are divided into paragraphs. uh, we understand the connection between the previous paragraph to the next paragraph and so on. Okay, so it's always better to write things in paragraph. How do we produce paragraphs in HTML? Okay, so let us take that example. Okay, I think the time is up now, another 1 minute remaining. I will do one thing. I will start the meeting once again after this sketch over. I will start the meeting once again. I will continue. We will finish this paragraphs today, and then you can all click on the same link. Okay, I will start a new meeting, share a new link. I think it will be the same link only. I don't know. But still, I will share the link. You click on that and rejoin again. Okay, I don't want to stop in between. Again, if I start paragraphs and then if it stops the meeting in between, there'll be the sense of connectivity will be lost. So I will stop now. I will share the link once again. I want everybody to join back.